Have you ever watched tiny house video tours and then absolutely just fell in love with tiny homes? But then they get to the bedroom loft and you watch the owners crawl around on hands and knees to get in and out of their bed. So then you're like, never mind, I don't really want to break my back and it doesn't seem very comfortable or convenient. Well, I'm here to tell you you can have your dream tiny house as well as the conveniences and the comfort that you're used to. Hi, I'm Carla. Welcome to Off-Grid Tiny Living, where our family shares helpful and honest tips for living off-grid and tiny. When planning our tiny house, we wanted it to be convenient, comfortable, and most of all that it just felt like home. Today I'm going to be sharing 4 unique design choices that make our house unique, comfortable, and convenient. Now, you do have to set expectations and you will have to compromise when going tiny. And we did a lot of research, like a year and a half of research before we even started to do our floor plans. So after 3 years of living full-time in our tiny house off-grid, we are so thankful that we did that research and that we chose these unique design choices because we would not change a thing. Number 1, our loft height and access. Typically, if you research tiny house bedroom floor plans, you'll see 2 options. One is a crawl-in, attic-esque type bedroom loft, and the second is going to be a first floor bedroom with no loft. Be sure to stick around to the end of the video where we'll be sharing the 4 most important questions you can ask yourself when designing your tiny house. So we have a lean-to or sloping roof, which means there's a 4-degree decline in our roof. The reason we have that is because we do have a water catchment system, so we need the rainwater to hit the roof and then for that to slope downwards. It's only a 4-degree decline, so it's not much in terms of inches. So the highest point in our loft is 4 feet 9 inches and the lowest is 4 feet 7 inches. Tall enough for us to walk slightly bent over in the bedroom loft, and it also allows 7 feet of clearance in the first floor. This gives us the convenience of walking and not crawling around in our bedroom loft. We can make the bed normally, we can hold a baby, we can get dressed, we can have a full-size dresser. Those kinds of conveniences and comfortability that we were really looking for. So when I drew the floor plan out, I made the loft, the bedroom loft, unconventionally larger. So it was almost 12 feet long. Ladders are very common in tiny homes because they save so much space. They're very convenient when you want to access a storage loft or a loft that you don't really get into very often. However, when trying to get into your bedroom loft, a place of comfort and where you want to end up at the end of the night, it can be quite uncomfortable to climb day in and day out. So we decided to design a custom staircase. It has a built-in desk, storage, shelving, and then it also has under the stairs storage. This is where we keep our very small printer, our shoes, and a lot of paperwork. Number 2, our closet storage and location. Typically in tiny houses, you don't see very many closets, and if you do, sometimes you get the between the bathroom and between the kitchen or living space little mini closet. Sometimes you see under the stair storage where the stairs lift up and they store pants, shirts, and kind of everything that they can fold, shoes, things like that. And other times you just see bins, and that's it. They really downsize in terms of clothing. Something that we really wanted was a fully functional closet, and that's mainly because we were going to be living out of our tiny house full time. Also, when we were designing and planning our tiny house, we were both still active duty military, so we had to keep in mind a whole second wardrobe for the both of us. So if you have a different profession where you do have uniforms or you have your own type of clothing, maybe you work in the medical field, whatever that may be, or you just have clothes set aside, just keep that in mind. One thing we took into consideration is we didn't want our closet on the first floor because, how much time do you spend in your closet? It's just a few minutes a day, twice a day maybe, and we didn't want that to take away from the first floor main living area because that's where we spend most of our time. With that space, which is a really large loft in terms of tiny homes, we were able to fit an antique dresser, full-size dresser, a bench seat that my husband made so we can sit and store underneath and also get dressed there. And we can fit our mini crib, which we have for our baby. We didn't plan on that, but you know, it's really convenient that we have it. And we also have industrial pipes that we hung on the ceiling, and that is where we have a fully functional closet. Pretty much everything that we own besides like my long dresses that are in storage. We also utilize space-saving hangers, and I'll make sure that anything that we do talk about in this video, I'll link in the description box below. Number 3, our furniture and appliances. Typically in tiny houses, you see multifunctional pieces of furniture and then mini appliances. We really didn't want the inconvenience of one piece of furniture turning into another, for example, like a couch bed, because what if one person wants to sit on the couch and watch a movie and the other person wants to go to bed? Something really simple like that was a really huge deterrent and really affected our design choices. We went with some smaller size appliances and smaller pieces of furniture, but they're fully functional. No convertible pieces whatsoever. We also have a 4-burner stove, but it doesn't have that middle section where, you know, you store your utensils when you're cooking and you place them in the middle. We don't have that piece, so it's a 20-inch instead of a 24 or greater. Now, our refrigerator is neither a mini, like the little college size ones, and it's neither a full size, like giant double door fridge. It's a halfway, I call it like a halfway fridge. So it's big enough for us to store everything. It's only 2 people, my husband and I, and then when we had the baby, I mean, he really doesn't add too much more. And number 4, our window placement and door type. Another thing you typically see in tiny homes is just numerous and crazy amounts of windows everywhere. People think that if you just add a bunch of windows, then the tiny house won't seem so tiny when you're inside of it. Sometimes you'll see that people put skylights over their bed. They have perimeters of windows that go all the way around their house that they can't really close unless they like custom make little, you know, shutters or drapes for those windows. We ultimately decided, yes? Yes, baby? We ultimately decided against these things for privacy, keeping it dark at night, and also a lot of the much needed vertical space and storage. We want to hang stuff on the walls. We want to put shelving in. We want to put hooks so we can hang up our coats and umbrellas. Instead, our tiny house feels really spacious because we strategically placed windows where you would naturally be and feel like you have a big open space. For example, I'm sitting on the couch, there's a small window to my right, there's a large window behind me, and then I have my doors to my left. So although I'm sitting under a loft, I don't feel like I'm cramped because, number 1, I'm seated when I'm in this position under the loft, which is why I placed the loft above the couch. I'm not going to be standing, so I don't feel cramped with this, the height above my head. We strategically placed windows where we could use them, where we wouldn't need any vertical storage, and it works out for us in our design. On the other hand, we went with a really big double patio outswing full glass door, and that's our front door. So you can lock one side and then open the other like a regular, you know, lock keypad door. So we went with that because we really liked the big open glass, you know, spacious looking door that can double as a window, that can double as, you know, moving your furniture in and out of the house if you're moving, or if we eventually move out and we want to Airbnb this place or clean. It just makes things a lot easier. We do completely close it off with blackout curtains, so it doesn't affect us in terms of it being too bright or no privacy. So we did want to splurge on that one piece. It also serves as like a nice entryway for a patio. So whenever it's like summer warm nights, we could just open both of the double doors and just kind of feel like, you know, we're sitting on a front porch. So where we spared space with our window placement, we gained this beautiful, lovely front door. Okay, as promised, these are the 4 most important questions you can ask yourself when designing your tiny home. Number 1, what am I willing to compromise to live tiny? So this is the I'm willing to tweak it or do without it item or convenience. A couple of examples are I'm willing to give up my regular toilet for a composting toilet, or I'm willing to give up a tub for a stand-up shower. Number 2, what am I not willing to compromise on? Okay, now this is your must-have, cannot live without item or convenience. So these are the needs versus the wants. Some examples are I need a queen-size bed and nothing less. Or I need a home office because I work from home. Number 3, where in the home do we spend the most time? Now this is so vital because you're going to be spending your time, your money, your planning, and your focus around this space. This is what the basis of your floor plan is built around. So for example, if you're a couple that works all day long and you get home from work, your only downtime really is, hey, I just want to watch a movie, or I want to go to bed, I'm tired, I would like to read a book, and you kind of want to spend most of your downtime in your bedroom, then that's the space you want to plan around. However, if you are, let's say, a stay-at-home parent and you spend most of your time in the main living space, that's going to be the focus of your floor plan. Number 4, what kind of lot or location are we working with? I cannot stress enough how important this is when designing your home. This is where the most common design mistakes happen and when people regret going tiny. Hi. I know. A couple of examples could be, we're going to use our tiny house on a family's lot or a friend's lot. We're not planning on moving. We want to stay in one location, right? 1 second. If you plan on keeping your tiny house in a fixed location, let's just say northern Michigan for an example. So you're going to want to plan for harsh winter weather. You can do spray foam insulation. You can do permanent skirting since you're not planning on moving it. Another example could be you want to travel with your tiny house. Then you're going to want some alternatives to house power, perhaps a generator or maybe even solar panels. You can also consider aluminum framing because it's going to be a lot more lightweight than your heavy wood. You may also want something like a wood-burning stove as a heating alternative. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and like and subscribe.